It's not often that I share trip reports, which is odd given that I've co-hosted one of the most popular air travel podcasts in the world for the last 8.5 years. But I asked, and you seemed interested, so I thought I'd share an experience I had recently that really was worthy of review. Recently I had the chance to fly from my local airport, Gatwick, to New York on JetBlue. I've been an admirer of JetBlue's for years now, despite having been part of the team that founded one of their biggest rivals. But hey, good product is good product. I've flown JetBlue many times in the US, but they recently expanded their network to the UK, and I jumped at the opportunity to fly transatlantic with them. JetBlue have always had a strong physical product, both in the pointy end of the airplane and the cheap seats, but I've always admired and enjoyed their premium product, Mint. So I sold some blood plasma and booked myself a seat in the Mint cabin. But not only that, I opted for one of the two Mint Studios, the two seats at the front of the airplane that are even bigger and better than the already impressive Mint Suite. The seat itself is hardly a seat, it's a suite, a room almost, with a lie-flat bed and a guest seat. All the more impressive when you consider we're not on a big airplane like a Dreamliner or an A380, but on a single-aisle A321neo. The actual seat is interesting as it has a 3-point harness with an airbag. Reasonably common on these herringbone-style seats, but neat nonetheless. You only have to wear the shoulder strap for takeoff and landing. The suite has a ton of storage, including this armrest cubby with a little spot for your water bottle, a mini closet for shoes and other bits and pieces, and this tray for keys, maybe? There are two power outlets with USB-C and a wireless charging mat, so you'll never run out of juice. There's also an inordinate amount of surfaces that magically appear from various crevices, good for laptops, iPads, booze, the necessities. Let's talk about the IFE, or in-flight entertainment system. In a word, brilliant. The screen is huge, the largest of any US airline actually, at 22 inches. When you sit down, your name is on the screen, which is kind of a nice touch. And yes, my real name is Ian. The system is fast and intuitive with a ton of content, including live TV. It was a real treat to be able to watch the World Baseball Classic at 30,000 feet. There were a ton of TV shows and movies as well, plenty to keep me entertained on the 7-hour flight across the Atlantic. And I thought this little content warning was clever too. I wish more airlines would do this because god damn, I've seen some things on other people's IFE screens. There's a pull-out remote too if you don't feel like touch screening, and the flip side has controls for the variety of games available on the IFE. Another neat feature of the IFE system is the food ordering function. A lot of IFE systems list the menu, but I've rarely found it to be up to date or even that compelling. This one was very different, as not only did you get to see what was on offer, but you could compose and order your two meals that were served on the flight too. Genius! You could choose between a full-service meal or an express meal if you just wanted something light. The full menu had 4 slots, which could be filled from a selection of small plates, as well as some pretty tempting desserts. The meal service started with a bowl of warm nuts and a sparkling adult beverage. Shortly after, your selection arrives on a single tray along with the necessary accoutrement. I opted for the roast chicken, the cacio e pepe, and the burrata. And you know what? It was all absolutely delicious. For dessert, it was a decadent vanilla gelato with honey and granola. Couldn't have been better. Shortly after the meal service, the cabin lights were dimmed, the blinds lowered, and the food coma induced. The studio seat converts into the largest bed of any US airline, and with the door of the studio, yes, it has a door, closed, it all feels very private and very cozy. Easy to pretend to do a little work or, like I did, have a little snooze. Hey friends, you know that Carl Friedrich luggage I'm always talking about? Well, I have huge news. I have teamed up with Carl Friedrich to give away not just one, but a set of their phenomenal luggage to one of you. One of you lucky people will win a carry-on and a check-in bag, and all you have to do is visit friedrich.com/attaché giveaway or just click on the link below and register to win. You gotta be 18 or older to enter, and the winner will be notified within 1 week of the competition close date, which is very soon. So go, enter, and then you can glide through the airport just like me. Minutes, maybe even hours later, I woke, ready for the pre-arrival meal. More food. I had ordered the carrot soup and the endive salad, the latter of which was excellent. It came on a single tray along with a scone and clotted cream and a delicious bar of Cadbury's dairy milk. Hard to say no to any of that. Shortly after the trays were cleared, our flight began its meandering, bumpy descent into JFK, and my JetBlue Mint Studio experience was coming to an end. But what an experience it was. Bravo, JetBlue. Bravo.